Hey there everybody, it's Missy with The Magnificent Method, and today we're going to talk about sex-positive parenting and how to talk to your older kids about sex. And so this is going to be a two-part video. First part's for moms, dads, guardians. Second part is going to be for older kids, high school age kids. The very first place we want to start is being age appropriate. And so just like you wouldn't tell a 4-year-old about what an orgasm was, you might want to tell a 16-year-old what an orgasm is, and so they can be prepared and aware about that, okay? We want to use proper terminology at all times as a parent, and so please don't say boobies, say breasts, right? Most girls don't know that they have labia and a vagina, and that these two parts are separate, right? They all connect, right? But these are two different things. So we're pretty good about telling boys that they have, scrotum, penis, testicles, things like that, but we're not really good. Girls kind of get this blanket statement that they have just a vagina, and that's not accurate, right? We want to give them accurate information, okay? Next step is please don't dump your emotional crap on your kid, right? And that, we think that we don't do that, but look, if you look at it, when you're talking to your kids about sex, all of your emotional, sexual stuff comes up and it's sitting like right behind you. And so generally we're going to have both parents behind us and they're saying, girls don't do this and good boys don't do that. And so please don't dump your emotional stuff on your kid. You're not there to scare them. You're there to empower them. And so the way that you empower your kid is just by being cool, right? And so something that I say to my kids about sex is that, it's something that is awesome. It's something that's really quite beautiful, but it's for grown-ups. And it's kind of like the trophy that you get for becoming an adult, right? And so they know that it's awesome. They know that it's lovely. They know that it's shared between two consenting adults, but they know that it's for adults, right? Okay. And so let's talk about setting clear boundaries. And so this is so important when we live in a culture that is fear-based and all they're seeing on TV all the time is that there are rapes and there are, muggings and murders and all of this crap. We have to let them know about consent, especially little boys. Please, if she says no, don't do it. If she's drunk, don't do it. If she blah, 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 whatever your boundaries are for your own family, if you need help with this, I'm available for consultations. I would love to sit down with your family and help you through this. You have to set clear boundaries, and consent being number one. And so not only does a girl have to consent to being touched, but the boy has to consent to being touched. And if we raise children that know that there's reciprocal respect involved in this, we're going to change this paradigm, and we're going to change it pretty rapidly. You're talking about 2 or 3 generations to eradicate a ton of scary, nasty, yucky stuff, right? So you do want to be focused on the beauty of sexuality and not on your emotional, fear-based garbage that you're going to dump on your kid. So we do want them to know about sexual health. Herpes is real, right? HIV is real. They need to know this stuff. We do want them to know about the reproductive consequences of having sex. Babies do happen all the time. That happens, okay? And once again, whatever your family looks like, however you operate through your family, my family's probably going to look a little bit different than that. I'm not telling you exactly what to do. These are loose guidelines in order to help you get through kind of the emotional anxiety, that feeling right there in your chest, and you're like, oh God, I have to talk to my kid about sex. I don't want to do this. It's terrible. But not necessary, really. So once again, we're going to talk about the beauty of sexuality and how wonderful it is. And so moms, I will say that if your daughter has already begun her journey with menstruation, then you've already had that conversation and it's done. However, if you have little girls and they haven't begun on that path yet, what I say to you, mom, is please, dad, if you're a single dad, please celebrate that little girl's womanhood. Please let her know that she's not dirty and it's not a rag and it's not nasty and it's not something to be ashamed of. And if there would be an accident publicly, that every single woman on the planet experiences this at some point and that it's nothing to bat an eye at. So what? Kids laugh. So what? Okay? And so you have the opportunity to be her champion instead of, other people who are shaming her. There are enough people shaming her outside of your house that you don't need to shame her as well. You can empower her. And so we will talk about shaming and the difference between shaming and empowering. And so if I'm shaming my kid, it sounds like, no daughter of mine is going to blah, 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 blah. Okay? And if I'm empowering my kid, I say, it's your body. You make your own decisions. I want you to make good decisions. That's a really different feeling, isn't it? So you're giving her, she's a sovereign entity. You're giving her the power over her body. And in the same sentence, you're saying, I still expect you to make great decisions, right? Instead of saying, you're so bad and don't you dare enjoy something that feels great. It doesn't work, right? And so if you are not familiar with slut shaming, I did make a video on that. I'll post a link for it. Very important to know when you're raising children, you don't want to shame your own kids. You want to be their safe place, their safe place. If they've got something to talk to you about, please be there for that. On the end of that, I will say that masturbation is the key to happy teenagers, okay? Happy families. And so something that I talk to people about all the time is that if your kid doesn't know that masturbation is okay, they're far more likely to act out with another person. And so we talk to them about, condoms and using condoms and being safe. We talk to them about STDs. We talk to them about pregnancy, but we don't really want to have a conversation about masturbation. And so I know when I talk to guys about the first, few times they talk to their parents about their own sexuality, it was their moms finding their porn and shaming them for their porn. Or it was, them having nocturnal emissions and like freaking out and having to hide it from their mom because they're mortified that their mom would know something like that. Or their dad was saying, you're gonna go blind if you keep tugging on that thing, And so oftentimes with girls, they never talk to their parents about masturbation. It never happens. They never talk about orgasms or any of that, right? And so I heard a mom one time telling her daughter, when I was hosting a seminar on how to talk to your kids about sex, she told her daughter, it's okay to be turned on. It's lovely, right? It feels so good. But it's not okay for somebody else to help you with that. That's a you problem, and you need to find the solution for that. Nobody else is involved in that until enter your own information here, until you're married or until you're an adult and living on your own, or until you're 19 or whatever your rules are. Every family's different, once again. But you have to verbalize this, and once again, just be cool about it. No big deal, right? And so you're not going to find yourself in situations where you're walking into your house and your kid's having sex in the middle of the day because they're skipping school and being crazy, right? Because you've had very clear conversations about what's going on. And so, furthermore, if you do come across a situation like that, please don't scream, please don't shame, please don't, berate them, because they're acting out on something that feels really, really good in the natural functions of their body. And so our society doesn't deem that natural, but it certainly is. And I think we all kind of know that, right? You have the choice. You can be the champion or you can be the shamer. Please be the champion of your child. Okay, so now I'm going to move forward and I'm going to make the second video that's just for kids. Moms, dads, guardians, please watch the second video before you show it to your kid, because in the event that there's something in there that you don't want them to see, you can, navigate away from there. Or if there's something that you'd like me to add in, call me and we'll figure that out, okay? So this is Missy with The Magnificent Method. This is video 1 of 2, sex positive parenting. Thanks for your time. We'll be right back with you.